also not so knowledgeable about these things. I will stop here so that we will not have so many informations and at the end have an overdoses and a blockage of comprehension. So please chant along with me. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Prachaline Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paskatyane Sadarine Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasati Gaura-Bhakta-Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, my dear devotees. I still remember a bold experiment which I was once making. I had been invited to start or I don't know, to be there for the Kirtan Mela in Mayapur, and had been requested if we could make that into an event where many, many, many more devotees would come to Mayapur around the Gopurnim time. And this was the greatest honor, and yes, of course. Now I came a few years, and then I had other services to do. But I remember one of these years, and I can't remember dates very well. I decided to make an experiment. I had seen a movie about Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which had been made within our movement, and the camera wanted to show how the kirtan of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which historically took place perhaps around 500 years ago, that kirtan is still going on in the location where it was started. Do you know where Mahaprabhu started the kirtan? Shiva Sangam, yes. So they wanted to show by movie how the kirtan is still going on in Shiva Sangam, and I think they solved it very nicely. They had shadows dancing, so you saw Shiva Sangam, and on the walls there were shadows, because how can the camera is only an extension, the film camera of our imperfect senses. How can it show the spiritual form of Lord Chaitanya and the members of the Panchatattva doing kirtan in modern times, not 500 years ago? How? So they had shadows. So I thought, I don't want to be with shadows in my spiritual life. I want reality. I want real things. So I told the devotees after the Kirtan Mela, listen, this is only for a few of you, perhaps 2%, but let's make an experiment and go to Shiva Sangam and see, or if we can feel something of that eternal kirtan. So we did this. Yes, I know it sounds unusual, but what can I do? I hear something and I need to experience it, otherwise my intelligence and mind drops it as theory, which is not of consequence for my life. So yes, and I needed to now convince the devotees that why not go and do in the night nocturnal kirtan, it's called, a kirtan at this place where an eternal kirtan goes on. Do you understand the idea? Yes?
Yes.
Is it comprehensive?
Yes.
The scriptures say it is eternally going on, and some individual decides, if this is eternally going on, can I experience this? Is it possible for a conditioned soul? And so on. So I introduced my idea, my bold idea. I said to the devotees, listen, there is a letter which Prabhupada wrote in the year 1973 to one of his leaders, of the missionary leaders. It's Rameshwara Prabhu. We met him this year in the airport. Where airport? New Orleans? No, before. New York airport. And he gave Krishna instructions which he will not forget for the rest of the life. No, how to make an offering. It was really amazing to meet this old devotee. So this devotee received a letter with an unusual instruction by Srila Prabhupada, an instruction which he had not counted on this. He had been, again, the leader of the BBT. He was inspiring the Sankirtan heroes of old, like the Prabhupada called him not him, but Tripurari Swami. Rameshwara and Tripurari Swami were inseparable. You would always see them well, maybe not always, because Tripurari Swami would distribute, but they would be as much together as possible. Anyways, so Prabhupada had written a letter. Would you like to hear this amazing message? Good. To deliver the world by preaching Krishna's message to others is our mission. Once again, to deliver the world by preaching Krishna's message to others is our mission. That's all right. But an even higher realization, the highest realization, is to save oneself. It's almost like saying, listen everyone, you have heard that you should go out and book distribution, you should spread Krishna consciousness, but something higher than this. I'm going to tell this now to you. Save yourself. and so on. So I read this and I said, okay, we have done now the Kirtan, International Kirtan Mela. There were many congregational devotees, many devotees who wanted to have a new boost in their spiritual life and so on. But now I'm calling upon a few of you, would you like to save yourself? And let's go to Shiva Sangam where the eternal Kirtan is. My dear devotees, we went there. We were there in the night. And what happened there is a secret I have vowed myself on that night to never speak a word about. So I won't be able to tell you, otherwise I break a vow. But perhaps in this, I hope in this lecture, to give you some tools by which you can make a transcendental experience of the Lord who cannot be seen by your eyes. See, maybe I can give some tools which will set you on the way to make a transcendental experience. By the way, I did not see Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, but I saw something I will never forget. It has changed my entire life and perspective. But I can't tell you, when you make vows, and especially spiritual realizations, it's not done that they are told in public. Hare Krishna. Good, good. So, my dear devotees, every one of you will have to decide what they're going to make with this lecture. The idea is clear. Krishna cannot, oh, it has disappeared again, Krishna. Krishna is an entity which our present material senses cannot see. No, have you understood this from the verse? He is he is in one way a murtikam. His form cannot wait a minute. He is mantra. He is a form, but the form of a mantra. And he can be a murtikam. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, very easily realized. He cannot be seen. He cannot be this and that, and austerities will not help you. Vedic studies will not help you. Discussion amongst others will have limited effect. But there is a very easy method by which you can realize him. That's what the verse is saying. You will realize him in this, but in a specific form in which he gets realized. Now it was in the year 68, very early in the phase of our Krishna conscious movement, where Prabhupada held an initiation lecture in Seattle, that's somewhere in America. So in that initiation lecture, he had very young devotees before him, and he told him a secret. He said, as soon as you chant Hare Krishna, this means that Krishna is dancing on your tongue. He's there. The Lord, who is very difficult to realize, is very easy there, you chant, and he's on your tongue. But you should be careful, so careful. See, you offer so much respect to your spiritual master as soon as he is present. So if he was, you can't believe him, Prabhupada entered any assembly, we all, the men, all paid Dandavat pranams, and the ladies also went down on the floor to offer. They gave flowers and so on. So he tells us now an example that as you offer so much respect to your spiritual master as soon as he is present. So if Krishna is present on your tongue, how much more careful you should be. You should always know that Krishna is there. So let us reflect on this a little bit. Krishna apparently, based on the Bhagavatam, and Bhagavatam statement, that's what the statement is, and here our modern day Acharya repeats this miracle, that the Lord is represented, is present in sound, is a murti. Acha. So Krishna is, let's get this clear. Is he really saying this? Krishna is present when we chant. The question is, where are we when we chant? When something is present and I'm absent, I will not see it, what is present. No? For instance, if I'm not at the lecture of one devotee, and I'm somewhere else in the forest, I will not hear what he says. I will not see his new pullover, perhaps, or what other things are of interest, if he has gained weight or not. You know, speaking very practically here. No, I will not see all these things because I'm absent. So when Krishna is present, but I'm absent, it will not mean anything for me. Absent-minded chanting, what is going on when you chant and you are absent? I mean, how is it possible? My dear devotees, you are a multidimensional entity. Your soul, the subtle body, the gross body. When you chant and you are absent-minded, technically speaking, you are not on the level of the spirit, but you are on the level, at least I am on the level of the mind. I'm following my mind, the moods of my mind, and so on. No? I'm on the, and I'm absent from the soul level, the spiritual level, and therefore I cannot expect to have any spiritual realizations at that time. Maybe some good feelings, I'm following my vow, I'm a very responsible devotee, will come, but that's not spiritual. It's not yet a realization. So, absent-minded chanting means you give more importance to the wandering thoughts than to Krishna's presence. Now this sounds, this was Satchidananda Swami who said it. Is this said by some acharya so that we can believe it? Well, in the Harinam Chintamani, there's a statement by Bhaktivinoda Thakur. If one chants the holy name of the Lord, but his attention is somewhere else, how can he benefit? Even if such a person chants 100,000 holy names of the Lord, that is around 64 rounds, or it's actually 58 rounds or so, but we put it. Anyways, let's not get lost in details here. Even if such a person chants 100,000 holy names of the Lord, still not even a drop of the mellows of ecstatic love will be attained. The chanting, there will be no thought, no realization that Krishna is there. The moment you feel Krishna's presence, the mellows, that means some rasa comes, that every one of us feels. Even yesterday in that wonderful play, did you also feel when Krishna Balaram entered? Did you feel something like this? No, yes, we are born. All right. Yes. Did you sometimes have, when you were in Kirtan, oh, that's very good. Yes, no. Yes. Sometimes, no. Yes. So do you had a little drop you felt at that time of what is called rasa, a taste of the spirit? Yes, Bhaktivinoda Thakur says in Chaitanya Shikshamrita that a devotee sees sometimes the little taste which comes from Krishna, the Krishna rasa or the Bhakti rasa, and it is, he described it, it's like a flash of lightning that comes into the darkness and quickly goes again, and the devotee is left to wonder, what was that? That was something totally outside my normal experience. He feels like this. So let's stop here again. If we are absent-minded from this, we cannot expect to feel that. My dear devotees, often we don't realize that chanting with inattention is our most serious or our gravest problem which we do. This is the main reason why we stay stuck where we are and cannot move forward. This inattention. You may say, okay, this is now again Satchidananda Swami, but he is a little too much. Is this in the scriptures that inattention is our main problem? I would like to put up a quotation here from magazine Sajjana Toshani. It's written, this statement which you will hear appeared later in the Harinam Chintamani. It comes from Bhaktivinoda Thakur. It says, if one gives up all the offenses, that is all that blocks me in moving, in chanting, but remains inattentive, he can never develop attachment for chanting. Therefore, Prabhupada took this idea that Krishna is present in the form of his name, and you need to be present in order to tune into that reality and participate in that reality. When you're not, it's not that. He many times, he also said this, you need to be present. Many times Prabhupada said that it's essentially important to hear the mantra. Hearing is giving, means to give our attention to Krishna. And here's the quote by Prabhupada. He said in a letter, there are many statements like this, concentrate fully on the sound vibration of the mantra, pronouncing each name distinctly. Could we do this? But be careful, something comes afterwards. So you would we like to just try to chant in one voice the mantra and chant it. I will ask you a very interesting question afterwards. So you have to really be now tuned in, otherwise you will not understand what comes afterwards. We are making an experiment now. The task ahead of you is now to pronounce every single syllable of the mantra in a very distinct way. Yes? Task is understood? You are with me? Yes. Good. Only one thing, we will now pronounce the mantra and we will just listen to every syllable. Let's chant the Panchatattva mantra. We need really support here. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara very slow, clear chanting. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Did any one of you see the mantra Mukti? The form of the mantra? You heard the sound? I didn't. I will now enter the philosophy of perception, and I make it. I'm not like Krishna Chaitanya Maharaj, who studies deeply and knows many things. There is, it's now a question, the question we look at is, how do we perceive? Perceive? What is the Serbian word for perceive, please?
Kako možemo da opazimo nešto drugo?
What is behind this perception? Perception of a reality is always dependent on the one who receives any information. I will give you a simple answer. This is water. It's a little fragment of water. Is a vast, vast element. There are oceans of waters, there are lakes, there are rivers, and so on. So out of all this water, someone, I have put this now into my thermos, and I will now put this water into the cup. You might say it's the most simple thing, but something very deep is happening here. Now the water has now the shape, it's held by the walls of this cup. It has the shape of the cup. No, it's in the cup. If I would take wine glass or a sect glass, you know, these high glasses, the water would take that shape. What is received, this is from, I forgot, I have not noted down the Greek, it comes from Greek philosophy, this idea, is always dependent on the receiver, on the receptacle. So when we chant, our realization during the chanting will depend really on how we are, how pure we are, how impure we are, how we are. And I want to say to you, my dear devotees, I really think our chanting, in order to become a Krishna chanting, we need to shift in our attitude towards the chanting. If we chant, for instance, with a duty mind awareness, I must chant my rounds, it will be different than if my container, mental container, my mental body, my being is, I'm chanting to glorify Krishna. It will be very different. Can you follow what I'm saying? Good. You might have to listen to this part again, because it's very subtle and very deep, and it requires a lot of thought in order to really know what is there. When Prabhupada, I saw him once, he was chanting Jaya Radha Madhava in Mayapur, and he went into ecstasy. He could not continue. It was very silent. We looked at him, and we did not know what to make out of. At least I really speak personally. In the very beginning, I felt a little awkward, you know, like when we come to a new place and we feel a little on the edge, and we laugh about things which a grown-up person laughs about, but it is because we are nervous that we laugh. So I was nervous also. What should I do now? what's happening here? Will he ever come back? I was thinking, and he cried. Oops. I looked around, how are the others? I was really not prepared for what was happening. Later I heard that Prabhupada was once asked by his disciples, what should we do when you go into this, when you do this, when you... Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna. So we should chant when this happens. What else to say, to us, So yes, yes, Prabhupada chants Jaya Radha Madhava and he sees something. We once said in the song, this is perfect because it shows the whole spiritual world. Everything is in that 4 lines. He once said, I chant Jaya Radha Madhava and I think, oh my God, hopefully I will get some breakfast. I forgot to phone and so on. I'm in a different mindset because my receiver is what it is. It is conditioned. So something needs to be done in our receptive mood, how we receive the holy name. And I would like to say, you need to see what is your relationship with chanting. Is it that you feel, oh, I have to do this? Is it that you feel, well, I told at my initiation ceremony, but now I don't chant more than 4 rounds? I'm lucky if I can do 4 rounds. Are you on that level when you chant? Thinking, I do my rounds or I don't do my rounds. Is that the level? There is another level. It is when I chant, Krishna is present. As soon as you chant Hare Krishna, that means Krishna is dancing on your tongue. You should be careful. You offer so much respect to your spiritual master as soon as he is present. So if Krishna is present, I'm reading what Prabhupada said, on your tongue, how much careful you should be. It's about relation. I want to give you a very simple example. We are coming to the summer camp and we are seeing devotees who we don't see very frequently. And there are some devotees who are special to us. Maybe they are special in a good way. We feel, wow, they are so advanced, I'm so happy now to see this devotee. Or they are special to us because they hurt us in the past, and because we are from Balkan, we still have a very bitter feeling which we cannot give up. So whatever it is, when a special person enters your awareness, something will change in you, because there is a relationship. There is either a good, let us say there is some type of relationship, and then it will affect you. You won't be neutral. You will be affected in whatever way. So if you are aware that this Krishna is there, I have a relationship with him. After all, I'm a God-conscious person. I believe in God. And he's there now. Oh my God! This will change a lot in your chanting. Do you still follow?
Yes.
We immediately, and I feel really, this shift needs to be made from, now I'm struggling with my holy names and my sadhana. We need to come to the theoretical willingness to enter a spiritual experiment. Now I am with Krishna. It's still theoretical, no? But it is from this, if you are tuned in like this, if you are if you use this receptacle for your perception, that something can grow slowly, slowly, slowly over time, perhaps over years. It will affect you already, I would say, after 1 year, when you are very persistent on it. But it might take, before you see Krishna, a few lifetimes. It is not so cheap to see God, no? And so on. But if you're now entering this, just like the devotee who took the word-by-word translation, who takes that serious, and after some time gets some idea what Sanskrit is, some little mala, but it's a way, it's a good thing. It is a good progress. So, my dear devotees, this investment is necessary. As long as you remain with this I struggle chanting, you will make also advancement, but it will be very slow. And you will always struggle with inattention. But the moment you think, I am with Krishna, then you will be able to feel something of his presence. Just like you feel when someone who is important to you, in whatever way important to you, when he enters your perception, something in you changes. Some feelings, some responses will change. So let me look at the clock here. I have still a lot to say on faith, but and that Krishna is Mantamurtikam, because I'm assuming that you believe what you read in the Bhagavatam, and that's a very bold assumption. It may not be warranted to make. So we may have to work on this. Is it really? Can we believe that? Is it? I mean, okay, we listen to philosophy, but what's outside? Do we believe that outside the classroom? I cannot go into it for time reasons. There is a difficult discussion. Is this perhaps all exaggeration? Is the whole Hare Krishna movement built on an exaggeration of some principles? And it's not like it is. That doubt is there. It's one of the. It's called Atavada. It's one of the obstacles to think that the chant, the glories of the holy name, is an exaggeration. That's a blockage, an apparat, you know. And we might have to deal with this, because maybe we unconsciously think like this. We are not aware that we think like this. But I believe it's a very strong blockage, and I certainly am not free 100% from this. But anyways, we don't go in there. What I want to leave you with is a simple practice. As you chant, which we will do today from 4:30 to whenever, as you chant, try to remind yourself of just this one thing, that Krishna is present as you chant. And this will be a theoretical concept, but it should, in the beginning, we can only work on the platform of faith. We have no other options. We conditioned souls, no? So try to experiment like this and say to yourself, I am present, and know that Krishna is there. No? Because Krishna is present, I also want to be present and not be absent. And you will see, something will start to shift. We have done, many devotees say that if they use this simple tool, I am present and know that Krishna is there, something starts to shift. I see you looking at me, and I'm looking at you. I don't know what you do with what you have heard. think most of you say, well, another class, when do we have prasad? And let's go on with our life as it usually is. Right? Yes, that doesn't make you lesser of a devotee. You're wonderful devotees. Just to move on this. But this might be something you wish to experiment. I am fully present, and I know that when I'm fully present when I chant, and I know, or as much present as I can, and I know that Krishna is there. Krishna. Just try it, my dear devotees. Prabhupada once said something on this idea of trying something which we have not yet realized. I certainly have not realized it. He said, if you just try to love God, you'll gradually, korak pa korak, realize how much He loves you. Can I repeat this for you?
Yes, please.
If you try to love God, you'll gradually realize how much He loves you. I think excellent dramas like the ones yesterday or theater plays where Krishna is genuinely happy to see Gopkumar returning. I do remember something from what he said. He said, I have been looking down the path and waiting for you, but you didn't come. I thought, maybe in this life he comes, or in that life, or then in the other life. But he didn't come. I just was hoping you would come. And hope made me dance like a fool. No? Remember this? When he said, with Krishna, hopes, and so on. So therefore, just try to love God. You will gradually realize how much He loves you. So, summary. We have heard about this. We know we will forget most of it. At least I will forget, even though I said. So let's boil this down into something we can take away, at least which lasts maybe 1 minute in our life. No? The idea is, when I chant, I'm present, and I know, or I have faith, or I know that Krishna is there. This, my dear devotee, will turn one understanding into a personal relationship to mantra murti, the form of the mantra. You might like to look at this amazing verse again. I will give it to you. Please, those of you who are interested in such things, write down 1:5:38. 1:5:38. And you can read more about this idea that God is present in the mantra. The same Sanskrit is used in 4:8:58. These are two references. Which I think there are more, but I'm not a scholar, so I don't. I'm heavy.
What is the number?
4:8:58. Again, let's. Yes, I'm also slow with number. First canto, 1, 5th chapter, verse 38, and the second, 4th canto, 4. 8th chapter, verse 58. No? This might revolutionize your understanding, and then you will really, well, next time we see you, you will be full of light and effulgence. Wow! Everyone will notice. Your friends will notice, your neighbors will notice. It will be seen on Instagram and social media, trying to motivate you. Good. Here's now time for question, and I hope Krishna, our professor, would switched himself in. Maharaj, if you have to say something, I feel you know much more than you can say something or ask a question, whatever you wish.
I think this is more of a question. Thank you so much for encouraging us to reform our receptacle, to be receptive. I'm thinking about what maybe I should call the lame logic of the condition of my conditioned mind. So I sit down, I decide now I'm going to chant attentively and distinctly, and the lame logic of the mind says, if I do this, from what I've heard, I will immediately experience Krishna's presence, perhaps like a lightning flash. But there's no lightning flash. And so the lame logic mind says, okay, let's go back to being attentive to the mind. And so we become inattentive very quickly because the mind is looking for the lightning flash, and it didn't happen. So there's so much more to be attentive to. And as you very nicely explained with emphasis, if we understand I am present, also Krishna is present, but there's no perception of Krishna. So I think my question is, would it be appropriate, would it be artificial to try to keep the mind attentive, to say, okay, Krishna is not present for me, he is absent. Let me cultivate a sense of longing for Krishna.
Wonderful.
We saw yesterday so much longing for Krishna in the drama, and this evoked in us so much sense of longing. Is this an appropriate thing, or would this be just imagining things?
Wonderful. Yeah, like always, what you say is extremely thoughtful, and yes, when we feel that I'm bereft of a certain thing like present-minded chanting or like feeling Krishna, then the longing is something to be cultivated, not, oh my God, you didn't come, now I also don't come, I go another way, I look for another God. But that is, and there is a work of Bhaktivinoda Thakur, some of you are familiar with this, it's called Bhajan Rahasya. And there he puts verses to guide the chanter into proper understandings. And there is, at the end, towards the later sections of the book, that it is said that of all the types of meeting Krishna, please listen attentively, it will be different from what you expect to hear, longing for him when he's absent is the best for a conditioned soul, and perhaps the only thing. You meet Krishna in your longing, because here is oh Krishna, I'm thinking, I'm missing you. Already you're thinking of Krishna. Already Krishna is now in you. And a very good example is given of Rukmini. She was to be married with Shishupal, isn't it? Shishupal, an absolute God-hater. She had heard about Krishna, only heard, not seen. From her childhood, she was like a gurukuli. She had seen how her father had received Narada Muni. What was the good name of Rukmini's father again? Ruk.
That's the brother. Rukmini's brother.
That's the brother. Bhishmaka, yes, Bhishmaka had received Narada Muni, and Narada Muni had made kathas in the court of, had talked about Krishna. What else will he talk about? The young princess would always come from small childhood, and she would just hear. Most probably she would have a toy with herself and sometimes play with the toy. But as she grew older, she had heard about Krishna, hearing repeatedly. So that when the time of her marriage came, it reminds us of Mirabai, the similar thing is there, she said, no, I want to marry Krishna. She had never seen him. She had only heard about him. So Krishna was far away at that time in Dwaraka. And she was, the time was, little. She had to write a letter. Krishna, please kidnap me on the day of my marriage, that will be better. And the Brahmana had to go make this journey to Dwaraka, no speedway, no express. He had to somehow, I don't know, take chariots or whatever. And he came and I heard when Krishna received the message, it was in the evening before the morning where Rukmini would be married. How would he come from Dwaraka to, what was the town again? Very well. Kundina, perhaps. Perhaps Kundina. How would he go there in the night? He had the chariots. Of course, he is Krishna. So Rupa Goswami tells it like this, that he called Garuda Airways. He got on the back of Garuda. For Garuda, no problem. And Garuda arrived in Kundina. I think Kundina is the right town.
Or is Brahmana from Kundina?
And at that moment, when he was still hovering in the air, Rukmini was coming out in her marriage gown of the Durga temple. She was so beautiful. It is described when the assembled kings and princes who waited outside the Durga, that she would come out of the Durga Mandi, saw her unearthly beauty. They were so much moved that they fell from their horses and chariots and elephants. Have you ever seen a very beautiful lady or ladies, beautiful man? When you really see someone who's really not ordinarily beautiful, but extraordinary beautiful, you go like, ah! What did I just do that? And it's like this, that those who are brahmacharis and sannyasis, they know now it's time to look the other way. So it was, but this is, Rukmini is the goddess of fortune. Imagine, her beauty was It is said the beauty of transcendent personalities is just coming out like the light from a pearl comes out. It comes from inside to the outside. So Garuda remarked to Krishna, they were coming here, Rukmini is here, and the princess are there falling on the ground. He said, "Oh my God, is she beautiful?" And Krishna says to Garuda, "I'm not attracted to beauty. I'm attracted to devotion only." They have a conversation. Krishna didn't go to Rukmini because she's so beautiful, but because she is such a so much bhakti, so much devotion is there. And we know he then came down. Bhagavatam describes he got down from his chariot. In another time, and another where this pastime took place, he got down from Garuda and he kidnapped her. And all the princes said, "No!" This was the last thing they had thought about. Dostoevsky writes in The Idiot about such a thing. There's a lady married before in the church, and then her other lover, not the husband, comes and kidnaps her, and then it's really a scene, which happens. Krishna is so wonderful. He just kidnaps them right before the eyes. It must have taken them some time, but they gathered their weapons and their armies, and they went after Krishna. We cannot let this happen. And this is a beautiful pastime. But the point here is a question: how did Rukmini obtain Krishna? It was through the feelings of longing. She was there, a little girl. "Oh, I only want to marry you. You're so far away. Will you receive my letter? Will it work? Kidnap me. This is a better proposal." And so on. This is how a soul relates to Krishna through the feelings of separation. Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur writes on this point that when we are separated from a material person, then he's not present. When you feel separated, you feel even more distressed. But the moment you feel separated from Krishna, the Satchit Ananda form, God, he comes in, he's right there in your heart. Our problem is we have forgotten the pain. We are dumb and dull, and we have forgotten the pain which comes when we are not within Krishna. We don't even think this is a problem. The problem is if I can't get enough money. The problem is if people think I'm not nice. The problem is if I get an extra kilo every year. The problem is my pancreas. The problem is my cancer. The problem is I can't reach my goals, which I have said. We don't feel any longer. The problem is that I'm separated from Krishna. It's not within our thought system as conditioned. So this is our greatest emphasis. According to Vallabhacharya, that we don't feel it's a problem, that I'm separated from Krishna needs to be overcome. So if you can feel like this, oh my chanting, but don't remain there. But it's very simple. If you want to chant, you need to create some good circumstances. Have you ever wanted to have a good discussion with someone? Yes? No? Which goes beyond the hello, how are you? Nice also. Have you ever been? Then you need to create a an atmosphere where that is possible. Could we perhaps meet, not now where all the people are, I saw there, down there is a little thing which gives shadow. We can sit and we won't be interrupted and we can talk our heart. No one will hear what we say and we will be able to share the deeper things. So with Holy Name, if you want to have a sincere moment with Krishna, you must create the right circumstances. And it doesn't mean just physical circumstances. That is physical. What is physical? We are not the body. Have you heard this ever? Is it true or is it not true? In the lecture it's true, but not the rest of the day. Okay, let's assume we are not the body and there is a soul. So we have to create spiritual circumstances. We have to create, I find the most important is my mind. My mind has to be made willing. And some devotees say before you chant, it's sometimes good if you read something. I think the intellectuals amongst you read something that captures you, then you are in a mental framework where you can chant. I will end here. I thank you very much. This was an enrichment, Krishna Chaitra Maharaj, to the lecture, because you brought out a new point, the longing point. Yes, I will end here. I thank you very much. All the best and Hare Krishna. We will now, please, Stani, we will now have our Malka Muni, who is
So today we have many activities. We have also some devotees coming from Novi Sad and Belgrade and other cities, Požega. And yes, we will have seminars of Krishna Kshetra Maharaj right after breakfast. Then Bhaktiananda Tirtha Maharaj at 12:30. Then after prasadam, I was thinking about this is for disciples of Sachinanda Maharaj. We'll have, but maybe we can discuss this later. I was thinking from 3 to 5 to have a condensed disciple meeting, since not to overlap with other programs. And then at 4:30 some bhajans can already start, so that at 5 until 10-ish o'clock we can have evening kirtan. And then, we have enthusiastic pizzas and sandesh after everything is finished. So, that's orientation for today. Tomorrow's Bhagavatam class will be given by Bhaktiananda Tirtha Maharaj, as well as a seminar, if he has strength for that. And then, we are approaching that day that we don't want to speak about, but the Monday is the day that we might have a mutual class of our 3 Swamis for the Srimad Bhagavatam, then Prasadam, then I don't know. So, you wanted to say something?
Thank you, Madam Prabhu. So today we have a great announcement for the kids. The kindergarten finally will be opened. At least for the last 2 days, but it's the most important days because it will be many seminars and kirtans and so many other things, so children maybe feel bored sometimes. So it will be when you go down to the Prasadam hall, just on the left, where usually our ladies make garlands. They kindly gave us that space, and Sriji is already waiting on a room. Thank you, Sriji, on the entrance, because we have we spoke that we will go now to arrange a little bit before the kids come. So feel welcome, And the good news is that Malini, daughter of Teja Goranga and Iveshwara Prabhu, she will teach the kids how to draw. She's drawing beautifully. Maybe we will have one day the opportunity to see. And also I want to thank Bhakta Bhima, who came after his exams just a few days back, and he brought something for the kids. And also yesterday, Bhakta Luka and Bhakti Niva came from Zadar, traveled for so long, exhausted, but they didn't forget to bring 2 bags for the kids. So it will be a lot of fun. And if kids lost ideas what to do next, please come to the Kristina Društvanci. Hare Krishna.
Just some technical things. Maybe someone is going to some city to buy something. We have some medicine to be bought for one devotee. So if someone is going to, maybe not to Valio, there are 2 cities 20 kilometers from here, 2 small towns. Okay. So if someone is planning, please approach me. Hare Krishna.
Yeah. You want to make a photo? I have written. I will make a whole thing and then you can Google it and it will pop up.
Evo na mikrofon da kažemo, vrtić se otvara u 10 sati, imamo 2 nove vaspitačice, Fatim Kaju i Damajane.
Siddhananda Tirtha Maharaj just came. I know sometimes you like to be there, and I think it will be kind of offensive to him if he's first.
Very important.
So if devotees take prasadam sharply, which is possible, so we have from 3 to 5, 2 hours. Maybe since it will be a lot of kirtans, maybe we don't need to sing so long during the time. I mean, you Yeah, I'm thinking, I mean, today is a week, Saturday, I guess so many people will be out. I mean, they might disturb our privacy in that sense, not that we are a problem for them. So I'm thinking about alternative room. That's it. Nice. Let me think.
Is there something here perhaps that I get? You must know about it.
Yeah, I would. Yeah, not so much. Remember yesterday when we sat with Natasha from somewhere? If we go further, there is much wider space.
Good.
But the Setu,
I have a list here. If you are on the list, then you're welcome.
Okay, Hare Krishna. Disciples of Satchidananda Swami, Guru Maharaj. So, disciple meeting will be held outside on the veranda. You know where prasadam is, there is wide space. So, we will take prasadam at 2, eat quickly. So, at 3 we will have
I
disciple meeting
heard
there.
already everything. Every Pasha personally.
At least 2 other brothers and friends.
It was a full success. I heard everything. I heard everything. Thank you very much for organizing it. I looked. I saw.
They're up on the back, and the younger are behind.
Yes, I was today. Wonderful, wonderful. Govinda Moini! Radhe, Radhe! There you are, Hare Krishna! Dobrodošli, welcome!
Be happy to find you.
Yeah, actually, we have never seen each other. I'm also very happy